Between now and Election Day, we are zeroing in on the important swing states in this presidential election. This week, it's Nevada's turn. Interesting historical fact, the winner there has gone on to win the White House in 10 of the last 12 elections. That's one of the many reasons the candidates are spending so much time in Nevada. President Biden and Hillary Clinton both won the state, but by small margins in their races. In this tight presidential contest, an average of new Nevada polls shows the candidates in a dead heat, with Harris leading by less than 1% over Donald Trump right now. However, Trump has an advantage among Nevada's independent voters. They favor him 50% compared to 44% for Harris. Dustin Olson is with us now. He's a pollster with American Pulse Research and Polling and also the host of the Political Trade Secrets podcast. Welcome to you. Thanks for being with us on this Labor Day. So talk about Nevada, 6 electoral votes. It may not seem like a lot, but this is a critical state.
Absolutely. For instance, right now, if Georgia were to go to Harris and she won Wisconsin and Michigan, Trump would have to win Nevada and Pennsylvania. So pretty much most of the ways you look at the map, Nevada is really critical for talking somewhere. Whoever wins is in the 270s. So that's it's pretty important. And it definitely is one of the states that of the ones that Biden had won last time that Trump has been performing in better over the last year in polls, which I think there's a number of factors. You've already mentioned one is the independents, but I think also the issue mix in today's Labor Day. I think working class voters moving more towards Republicans over the last 10 years has also had an impact. But there's a number of factors that are playing into that.
What's the secret to the sauce when it comes to independent voters? And by the way, we mentioned this before the break, but Nevada is the only state in the U.S. with the option of none of these candidates. So the independent vote there is quite large.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is true in a lot of Western states that the unaffiliated is actually the term that they use there. It's the plurality of voters in that state right now. They're about 39%. And something that has changed also is that the Democrats and Republicans are almost evenly divided at 30% of the registered voters in that state, which is a change. But yeah, the unaffiliated voter plays a big part in it. And because they can choose none of the above, they have a place to go. There's been a lot of court battles right now about RFK Jr. being on the ballot in different states, and that's a place for voters to go if they don't like either option. But in Nevada, they always have the option of going with nobody.
Leisure and hospitality, Dustin, is ultimately what decides this race, right? I mean, you think of a state like Nevada, how many tourists go there year to year? Nevada, the 22.9% of its workforce works in the hospitality industry. So the tips issue is going to be a big one. But because both candidates seem to be on the same side of this, will this be a wash?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Looking at the Emerson, the Hill poll that you guys rolled out last week, the top issue in the state is the economy. And as I mentioned before, kind of working class voters moving to Republicans. This was a really smart issue for Donald Trump to pick up earlier in the summer, so much so that Kamala Harris, who had actually provided the tie-breaking vote in the Senate as vice president on the expansion of the IRS, which had a component of it that was going to crack down on tips. It was important for her to, some people might call it a flip-flop, but that would be a devastating issue and the kind of thing that would lose her that state. And as we said, the math doesn't work very well without that state. So I think she really had to do it. And I think it's probably everybody in that state's happy that no matter what, they're looking at possibly no tax on tips.
Yeah. So economy, housing affordability, immigration, those are the top issues for Nevada voters. But another issue on the ballot, and this is important across the board, abortion. It's one of 10 states with abortion rights that will be on the ballot this November. How does that factor into the calculation of Nevada's importance?
Yeah, and a lot of, for both parties, especially in the West where we have citizen initiatives, there's been an effort to get issues like this on the ballot over the years in order to energize one party's base. Sometimes it has an effect, sometimes it doesn't. Over the last couple of years, though, we have seen that does get people out to the vote when they have this kind of an issue on the ballot. It doesn't always affect the top of the ballot, the Senate races or the House races, or in this case, the race for president. Though the truth is, we haven't actually seen it happen yet, where we have these kind of initiatives at the same time as a presidential race on the abortion issue. So
thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.